You wake up, check your phone, another headline screaming about division, another leader promising salvation through strength alone, another minority blamed for everything crumbling. You feel it, don't you? That whisper in your bones saying you've heard this story before, not in a book, in the marrow of history itself. So here's the uncomfortable question we're dancing around. What if fascism never really died? What if it just learned to wear a better suit? Let's get something straight first. Fascism isn't just a mustachioed dictator shouting from a balcony. It's not a Halloween costume from the 1940s we can safely pack away. It's a virus, a societal disease that thrives in very specific conditions, and once you know the symptoms, you can't unsee them. The core DNA is surprisingly simple. Authoritarianism that concentrates power in a single leader or party, hypernationalism that equates criticism with treason, militarism that worships strength and violence as virtues, and the systematic suppression of anyone who dares whisper, "Maybe we should think about this differently." But here's what makes it terrifying. Fascism doesn't announce itself. It doesn't arrive with horns and a pitchfork. It arrives wearing the face of salvation. Think about the Weimar Republic, Germany, 1920s. A nation humiliated after World War I, economically devastated, its currency worthless, its pride shattered. People weren't looking for evil, they were looking for answers. They were drowning in complexity and someone offered them simplicity. It's not your fault, it's their fault. Point at a minority, point at the intellectuals, point at anyone outside the imagined pure us. Now look around today. Economic inequality hasn't been this dark since the Gilded Age. The middle class is evaporating while billionaires play astronaut. Young people can't afford homes their parents bought on single incomes. The social contract is shredded and people are furious. Rightfully so. But fury without direction is gasoline without a container. Add to that a crisis of identity. When the world changes faster than humans can adapt, when globalization makes everything feel simultaneously connected and alien, when your job gets automated and your culture feels diluted, the brain does something predictable. It reaches for the familiar, the trivial, the safe. And demagogues know this. They've always known this. Then there's the erosion of truth itself. In the 1930s, it was state-controlled radio and newspapers. Today, it's infinitely more sophisticated. We're drowning in information but starving for truth. Algorithms feed us what makes us angry because anger keeps us scrolling. Alternative facts aren't new. They're just faster now. When institutions crumble, when journalism is fake news, when science becomes political opinion, reality itself becomes negotiable. And here's where it gets personal. Fascism doesn't need everyone to believe. It just needs enough people to stop caring about truth altogether. Exhaustion is its best friend. When you're too tired to fact-check, too overwhelmed to distinguish propaganda from reporting, too cynical to believe change is possible, that's when the door opens. That's when someone walks through offering certainty in exchange for obedience. The rhetoric is hauntingly familiar. We alone can fix this. These outsiders are poisoning our blood. The press is the enemy of the people. History doesn't repeat, it rhymes, and right now, the rhyme scheme is uncomfortably tight. So let's talk about how this ancient poison adapts to modern veins. Because if you're looking for fascism to look like it did 80 years ago, you're hunting the wrong monster. Start with the us versus them story, the oldest authoritarian trick, now upgraded. Today's targets aren't only ethnic or religious minorities, though they are still prime victims. It's immigrants, intellectuals, journalists, scientists, anyone who represents complexity in a world craving simplicity. The other becomes not just different but existentially threatening. Convince people they're in a life or death struggle and they'll tolerate almost anything from their chosen protector. Enter the strong man, not strong in wisdom or character, but in performance, absolute certainty, zero self-doubt, loyalty over competence. The cult of personality isn't new, but social media turned it into a 24/7 parasocial bond. You don't just vote for them, you defend them, wear their march, make them part of your identity. Criticism stops being political and starts feeling personal. They offer beautifully simple solutions. Build a wall, ban them, restore greatness. Never mind that complex problems don't have clean answers. People aren't stupid for wanting simplicity. They're human. Our brains evolved for survival, not post-industrial democracy. We are pattern recognition machines, being fed patterns engineered to trigger fear, tribalism, and rage. Then comes the propaganda engine. Goebbels would be jealous. You don't need state TV when you have Facebook. You don't burn books, you flood the zone until truth is impossible to find. Algorithms radicalize more efficiently than any street corner recruiter ever could. Watch one video, get 10 more, each slightly more extreme, until conspiracy becomes community and your feed turns into a funnel toward extremism. Political violence gets normalized step by step. First, it's heated rhetoric. Then, very fine people on both sides. Then, armed groups at polling stations. Then, coups reframed as patriotism. Each step feels reasonable compared to the last until violence isn't a malfunction, it's part of the system. Look globally: Hungary, Brazil, India, the Philippines, parts of Europe, and yes, looking at you, the United States. Different cultures, same playbook. Undermine courts, demonize the press, stoke fear of replacement or invasion, wrap authoritarianism in the flag and call it patriotism. But here's the crucial distinction. Not every nationalist is a fascist. Not every populist leads to tyranny. Democracies are noisy by nature. The real question isn't whether we hear echoes, it's whether we're seeing a pattern or just static. Are these isolated movements or the early chapters of a story we already know? Hoping this time the ending changes. History never repeats cleanly. We have global institutions, nuclear weapons, deep interconnection, but we also have new vulnerabilities, digital surveillance, AI-driven disinformation, and environmental collapse putting pressure on already fragile societies. Different century, same poison, better delivery system. So, is history repeating? Maybe not exactly, but it's rhyming loud enough to wake the dead. The conditions are present, the rhetoric is familiar, the mechanisms are active. What's different is us. We have the benefit of hindsight. We know where this road leads. The question isn't whether the echoes exist, it's what we do about them. Do we strengthen democratic institutions or watch them erode? Do we demand truth or accept comfortable lies? Do we recognize that it can't happen here is exactly what they said before, every single time? The past is whispering. The choice to listen is ours.